Get You Some Radio.
There he is.
What's going on, brother?
What are you doing, my Tennessee brother? What's happening, man?
Just enjoying the sunshine and living large. Congratulations to you. Frank Lopes, today's guest on the Get You Some Radio show, just released his book today, right?
Today was the day, my friend. Yes, today was the day. Happily we are here. And you know it, my friend. You know what an arduous task it is to do this.
Listen, I got some bad news for you. I tell everybody that I know that writing a book is the hardest thing I've ever done, and writing a book was the easy part.
Yes.
It's the hardest thing I ever did, and that was by far the easiest part of the whole deal.
It sure was. I mean, look, I love connecting with you. I love connecting with, all the other people who have reached out, who have wanted to talk about the book and wanted to, get into the nitty gritty of things with it and everything. But, just like you said, man, this is the hard stuff.
Oh, yeah. So, hey, we'll talk about the book in a second. I want to come back to the book, but first things first, let's talk about the car business, man. I've been doing these Get You Some radio shows. I've been doing like little short pops, talking to different dealers and managers around the country about what it's like where they are. You're everywhere. So what are you seeing, brother?
I'm seeing everything. You name it, I am seeing it. I am seeing states that are completely shut down, can't sell any cars. I am seeing states with regulations that do everything to get in the way of selling a car. And I see other states where they're spelling Corona with a K, and they think that it's a beer from Mexico.
Yeah. And I, like some folks are selling a lot of cars, and some folks are literally can't sell cars. It is all over the board from what I can tell.
Yeah, and it greatly affected by two things. I mean, number one, whatever the regulations are in that state, and I'm not so much talking about the regulations on the purchasing and selling of vehicles, as much as I'm talking about the regulations of like stay-at-home orders and how seriously those orders are being taken. Right? Yeah. That's actually has more to do with whether the dealer can sell vehicles or not. And number two, as always, Corona did not change this whatsoever, Terry. The exact same thing of what is the dealer's processes, what are their procedures, what's their aggressiveness, what is their goals, what is their desire to sell vehicles, because you can have dealer A and dealer B on the same strip in the exact same town. They have the same market, they have the same challenges, all the exact same stuff. Dealer A sells 800 cars, dealer B sells 80 cars, and their lots butt up next to each other. Yeah. And you've seen it time and time again. If some of the auto pros out there have lived it, they've been on the 800 car side of the block, they've been on the 80 car side of the block. Most of the time, the people on the 80 car side of the block make excuses about what's going on, right? Or make up stories like, oh, they just got a big fleet deal. Oh, they put so many cars in loaner service. Oh, they only sell the bad credit. Oh, a million excuses, regardless at the end of the day, who sold 800 and who sold 80.
Yeah. So what's the thing that the people who have got the processes in the system in the place, what's driving right now? What's the best thing people are doing to keep metal moving, to keep the lights turned on?
The best thing that they're doing is informing their customers, staying in touch with them. And when I say informing, there's a difference between advertising and marketing. You know that they're two totally different. In essence, they're two totally different things, right? So their marketing consists of informing the customers as to what's going on, informing the customers as to what they can do, and then their advertising, right? What they're doing is all putting themselves right in front of the customer where their attention is the highest right now. And Terry, their attention right now is the highest on this thing right here.
Yeah.
It's right here, even more than before. A lot of people were saying, oh, we should bump up our TV. And I was like, the only thing that people are watching is the stuff that you don't want to advertise on.
Yeah.
Okay, that you don't, or you can't advertise on. Back in March, the daily Corona task force news briefing was the hottest thing on television. Right, it went for an hour to an hour and a half, commercial free. Okay.
Yeah.
Commercial free. Every single news outlet, every news channel went 100% preemptible, meaning that, no spots. They can cut into at any time, do whatever they want, bump whatever spots necessary. So television wasn't really a viable place to put advertising dollars. But this thing sure was. And it still is. The dealers that went aggressive on Facebook, the dealers that went aggressive with targeted ads on Facebook, targeting their own customer base, targeting people that submitted leads, but they didn't pull the trigger for whatever reason, targeting people that already follow their page and making sure that that information got out to them. Those are the dealers that I saw personally, that had the greatest success through March, and they're continuing. We're recording this now, late April, and they're recording, and they still are having the same type of success, and they carried that momentum from December, January, February. They carried that momentum into the month. The other dealers who stuck their head in the sand, they still got their head in the sand, Terry.
It's amazing the contact we have available to us if we just take advantage of it. We're right there in their pocket all day, every day. You just got to be there.
You just got to be there. Look, just like anything else in life, right, Terry? What is that one secret? What's that one secret to success that most people don't want to talk about, right? But it's the easiest. Just show up.
Showing up, baby.
Just show up. That's it. Most of the time, things happen just because you're the one who's there. Most of the time, people think things happen. And look, this is business. This is in your personal life. This is so many different aspects. If you didn't show up for your first date, you were never going to marry that guy or girl. It's not going to happen. You got to show up in the beginning. You got to be the first one there. If you're in auto sales, you're not going to sell a car unless you show up. You're not going to sell a car unless you answer that lead, unless you show up back on that person's cell phone in a text message, or you show up by ringing that customer's phone, or you show up by sending that email and popping up in that customer's email box, in their inbox. That's the only way that you're going to be able to do something. Step number one, always, you got to show up.
I love it, my brother. You are preaching to the choir. And that leads directly into your book, because this is what I wanted to talk to you about the book. The book is called The 7-Minute Setup, available now on Amazon. The 7-Minute Setup, how to achieve your business and personal goals faster and easier. The 7-Minute Setup by my man, Frank J. Lopes. And the thing I wanted to ask you, I'm reading the Amazon description that you got here, and you had a couple of questions, but the thing that jumped out and grabbed me, because this is what I want to know. I want to know why pushing towards your goals never works, and what you need to do instead.
Pushing never works, Harry. I talked about this yesterday on the 7-Minute Setup Live, so it's a good question to ask because it's fresh in my mind right now. Pushing, and I could spit this out to you 20 years from now, and on my deathbed, I could spit the same thing to you. Look, pushing never works when you think about it. So many people, Terry, they go through their lives, they go through their days, right? And they say to themselves, or even worse, they say out loud, "Oh man, I just got to push through. I just got to push through to the end of the day. I just got to, once I get through the end of the month, things will be better," right? They're always pushing all the time. It takes a tremendous amount of force and will to push yourself through something. Okay, because as you're pushing, not only are you expelling energy, but you're meeting resistance. Constantly, you're forcing something to go in a direction that it does not want to go, or it would not naturally go. That's actually what pushing means. Instead, you need to change so that you are pulled through your days. Terry, did you ever have one of those days where you've got something exciting happening, right? And like, let's say, for example, you're going to go on a vacation, Okay. And you got to leave the house early to get to the airport on time, to catch the flight, to go to the Florida, to get on that cruise ship, or to get on the, to go to the airport, to go to Jamaica or Aruba or Europe or wherever it is that you wanted to go. Right. And you set that alarm for 5:30 in the morning. Okay. And your ass woke up at 5:25.
Boom.
Boom. And you woke up like, you didn't wake up like, oh God, I'm really tired. Oh God, this is going, where's the coffee? You woke up like, hey, let's go. Let's get the stuff in the car. Come on, kids, let's go. Wife, come on, let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Come on, right? You were like all set up to go. Why? You were being pulled by your desire to get to the airport because you knew that you had to get to the airport to get the plane to go wherever it is that you were going to go on vacation. Okay. You were being literally pulled out of bed by your desire to have a great time on that vacation. You were looking forward to it. Right. Because so many people, Terry, and you've probably, you've been in this situation probably in your life in the past. I know I've been in it in my life in the past. Right. Where you have to push yourself through, but it's because you don't have anything to look forward to. You should always have goals. You should always have desires. You should always have what you want your life to look like in the future. And when you set up the same way how you have in your mind that setup of what that beautiful vacation is going to be like. If let's say you're going to go to Aruba and it's going to be so nice, the breeze is going to be warm, the water's going to be warm, the sand's going to be warm, the drinks are going to be cold and they're going to be strong, the food is going to be tasty and there's going to be plenty of it, right? Everything is going to be great. Your mind already knows what that's going to be. So when you set up the vision in your life of what you want your life to look like 7 years from today, and you can do this, Terry, at any time in your life. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how much success or failure you have. It does not matter. You can do it right this second. And you think to yourself, what do you want your life to look like 7 years from today? What do you want it to feel like? What do you want it to feel like on your skin? Like, do you want to feel warm on your skin, right? What type of things do you want to hear? What type of sounds do you want to be hearing? Okay. What do you want to be doing all the time? When you set up that perfect vision for yourself, I'm not talking about no vision board stuff. No, when you say to yourself, okay, in 7 years, I want to have $1 million cash in the bank. I want to have my home paid off completely. I want to be 20 pounds lighter, 50 pounds lighter, whatever. Say you say, I want to be Mr. Olympia, or I want to be in the Olympics, or I want to play professional football, or whatever it is. When you have that clear vision of what it is exactly that you want to do, that vision will pull you towards it. It will put, doesn't mean that you're not going to have a tough day. Doesn't mean that there's a day when you're going to get sacked, when you're not going to see that, when you're not going to see it coming and you're going to get hit from behind. That doesn't mean anything like that. It just means that after you do get hit, you're going to get pulled right back up by your desire to reach whatever that goal is and make your life the exact vision that you have in your mind.
Figure out what you want and lean into it. Let gravity work for you, baby.
And it will work for you the same way that it works for you on vacation. The exact same way. Look, we could plan a trip to Aruba. You could get on the plane and you could get there, right? And it could rain. Would you care? No, you're still in Aruba.
In Aruba.
You're still there. You're still on vacation, okay? And you know that it's going to be a sunny day tomorrow, or it's only going to rain for an hour, or whatever it is, So any kind of adversity in it, or any kind of imperfection in your goal or in your vision when you get there, don't worry about it. You're going to be so happy that you're just there. It's still going to pull you. It's still going to pull you. It's still going to get you there.
You know how I live, man. Every day above ground is a good day. I'm just glad to be here, brother. Glad to be talking to you. Frank J. Lopes, the 7-minute setup, available now on Amazon. Frank, thank you so much for coming on the show, talking to me, sharing with me, and telling me about the book. I'm excited to actually get my copy and get my hands on it and dig in and read the thing. I promise the people who watch the show that if you'll spend however long it took us to talk this talk, you'll spend that amount of time with them, you're going to leave with one thing you can do today, one thing you can put into action in your life to be better, to start creating health, happiness, and prosperity. So I need an action step. What can we do right freaking now, Frank? Right freaking now.
You can do right now, Terry. I gave it to you already. I'll give it to you again. Sit down. Anybody who's listening, as soon as this podcast is over, get a piece of paper and write down what you want your life to look like 7 years from today. Okay. And when you write it out, I want you to write it in perfect possessive form. Okay. I have $1 million in the bank. Okay, like it's so possessive, like it's happening, and perfect, like nothing could get in your way. No obstacles, no nothing. Okay, if everything over the next 7 years worked out perfectly, no issues, what would your life look like 7 years from today? Now, a lot of people, friends, you do this, and to be honest, it hurts, because a lot of times you realize that you're at a certain point in life and you have so much further to go. You have so much more to do. Okay. You have so much more that you want. Don't look at what you haven't done. Don't look at where you are and put it down. Look at where you're going to be. Think about that Aruba vacation. Think about where it is that you're going. Okay. Think about where it is that you're going to wind up. It doesn't matter if you live in a trailer park. If you're going on vacation to Aruba, nobody cares where you live. Nobody cares. And you don't care either. You just care about where that plane's going to land and where you're going to stay. So sit down as soon as this is over, as soon as you're done listening, get a clean sheet of paper with your own hand. Don't do this on computer. Use your hand, okay? And write out, what do I want my life to look like 7 years from today? Pen and paper, old school. Old school is what works. Write it out. What do I want my life to look like 7 years from today? What does it look like? What does it smell like? How does it feel? Who's around me? What do I hear? Okay. All those types of things. And then, you know what? And then you will have a vision for where you want your life to go. And then the 7-minute setup book will tell you how to get there.
The secret sauce is feeling it, man. You got to feel it.
Absolutely.
Frank, I love you, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you do. Best of luck to you. Sell a ton of books and keep spreading the love, brother.
Thank you, my man. Thank you so much. I love you too.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Get You Some Radio. You've been listening to the Get You Some Radio Show. Subscribe today at terrylancaster.tv to hear more episodes, win valuable cash and prizes, and get free training to help you create an army of buyers who know, like, and trust you before they've ever even met you. It's a big, wide world, boys and girls. Get out there and get you some.